Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And we are discussing tonight with the panel, can Manchester United make the top four? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it was a disappointed night last night. We once again predicted Manchester United to go and beat Burnley. I predicted a 2-1 score. Unfortunately, I got slapped in the face. We're joined by Rebel, OMONDI, Mr. B as always, and welcome back, Reese. And making his debut with all of us on the channel today is welcome, Eddie. How are we doing?
Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing all right.
Yep. And
many blessings, thank you.
Thank you, Reese. Reese, don't worry about these guys. How are you doing as well? Don't worry about these lot.
I don't pay attention to them. Just kidding. I'm doing fine. Obviously, I'm repping some history. If anybody knows that badge, then you'll be all right.
Oh, can't see. Yeah, that's it.
I got one eye, man. I ain't looking. I can't see.
Here's what really matters.
What the hell is that?
It's the. Is that the eye? Does that
57 FA Cup final, boys.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Yeah.
Wow.
See, when you know where to look,
tribute to Busby boys.
When you know where to look, you'll find something useful. And obviously, I find greatness wherever I go. So, cheers for having me on, boys.
Stop covering it up. Zip down and see that.
Yeah.
Zip down. That's no sign you should be saying live on air. I'll leave the badge on display.
Okay. Yeah. That's the other side on Monday, to be honest with you. But guys, it's absolutely amazing. Everyone on the channel today, we will be discussing obviously the whole impact of during that game yesterday. It's taking us away from top four. To be honest with you, I'm not so confident and convinced. And I'm going to say, I honestly believe we could have gone in and do like an honest title challenge this season. But unfortunately, it's just been drifting away. I know Eddie's looking at me with his raised eyebrow, but I honestly thought we could have at least challenged for the league this season, at least thereabouts. I don't know what the rest of you guys think. Eddie, you can go first.
I mean, it's like it's weird because we seen with the positions that Man United finished in, right? On paper, it looked really good. The progression was going upwards, right? Finished third, then finished second. Right, but then I think some of us were forgetting that a lot of these wins we were getting for those positions, they were pretty much stolen. If you look at the way we played, there's a lot of times where the culture was play one half, the second half. I mean, I've heard Man United be called second half FC. I think they're first half FC now by the looks of performances we get nowadays. But really, yeah, I think the table kind of lied to us, guys. I think there was one season where Chelsea weren't doing well. There was the rivals were kind of slacking for us to get them positions. So I just think the expectations went up because of the positions that we finished in the table. And yeah, we signed Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho. Those were big ones where you're thinking, okay, we're going to go to the next level and we're going to play some good football. But we've seen what's happened. So yeah, I just think it's just been a mass confusion in terms of us having expectations for the title, man.
Yeah. And let's go to Reese, because I'm going to all the guests first before I even come in and start talking about the regulars. Reese, top four, is that outside now? Or when we sign, obviously, Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, we got as well, those signing gave me goosebumps to think we might actually challenge for the title. What's your opinion?
The worst thing is Man United fans having to say our best chance this season at something good's finishing top four. Like, I don't know about you guys, but last time I checked, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Like settling for all due respect, settling for top four for me is an insult. But we don't exactly have much of a choice. Like, we were out the title race in October. In fact, I'll even go one further. We were out the title race in September. Like, that's how bad it was. We started great. A month later, that was it. We were out the title race. It's just a reflection of how far we've fallen. It's a reflection that poor management, poor recruitment, a lack of a lack of cohesion with the team, relying on individual brilliance as it was coined, although right now some of it would be beneficial. We have dropped a long way, and it is circumstantial that we are having to rely on top four just to get the Champions League. Some of these players don't even deserve to play in the Europa League, let alone the Champions League. They don't deserve European football because we're not that consistent. The best teams are the teams that are consistent every season. We're not. And there's a reflection that we have got a long way to go. In terms of this season, can we get top four? Yes. Is it impossible? No. But are we in the best position to go and do it? Personally, I don't think so. I think, in all honesty, I think it's more likely to be Tottenham. But we could still do it. We just need to get a consistent run of games behind us. We need to keep going. Only City have got more points than us in terms of since Ralph Rangnick's came in. So that's a good reflection, but it's a consistency. Like, obviously, Eddie's mentioned we were once second half FC, now we're first half FC. That's an important reflection. We get things done in the first half. We should be scoring more goals, converting more chances. As soon as it comes out in the second half, we go from energetic to pensioners. Like, we're just flat. We're just flat dead. And for a team of Man United, that quality, that standard, you should not be legless within 5 minutes of the second half, like, starting. You shouldn't be in that. So that's embarrassing as a Man United fan. You have to witness that.
Yep. Yeah. Good assessment there, Reese. Rebel, I'm coming to you first. Top four, as what Reese said, it's not impossible getting top four, but it's very worrying. I think Spurs got 2 games in hand over us. I don't know what the score is now. If they win today, I think they're only about 1 point behind us.
Yeah.
Is that a concern, and is that a big worry? And West Ham won again yesterday.
I've actually gone through everybody's fixtures. I'm basically ignoring Champions League Manchester City at this point. Liverpool have pretty much got second lockdown, and Chelsea have got their third place. Reece said first half FC. It's more like 20 minutes FC. And as long as Harry Houdini is at centre back, we're going to be disappearing away from the Arsene Wenger trophy, because he is on the way to causing the biggest failure in Manchester United history. Looking at the fixtures that we have left to play, I was struggling, and I was being kind, giving us 21 more points. That leaves
we'll talk about that afterwards, Rebel. I've got that towards the end. About point count. Don't get ahead of yourself yet. We got that.
But, listen, looking at what happened yesterday, it was shambles, an absolute shambles. And the minute he put in that foul, Wyatt called him come from the sideline to put on Lindelof. I just cannot register why that didn't happen.
And OMONDI, we've discussed it before. Obviously, you and me both. I think we're probably the only two probably on the panel who believe we could have gone on to win the league this season. And right now, we're in serious trouble. If everyone win their game in hand, I think it drops us down to 7th in the league. And I don't want to be playing Europa League. I honestly don't want to be. I don't want to be here. I'm being open and honest right now. I don't want to be here on a Thursday night next season.
Look, Ralph's come in, and I think his KIP, key performance indicator, whatever you call it, is to get in the top four. We're out of the FA Cup. I said that was a blessing in disguise. Less games. He's got a smaller squad after the January transfer window as well. You're filtering out guys that he's got better judgment than us. He's actually involved in the club. He sees the players every day. He's experienced. He knows what's going on in the club. He's sorting out the problems. I'm staying positive. A lot of people give me hell because I'm staying positive, but I want to see us play a better game of football. I've seen us have 4-5-1-0 since he's come in. That was an issue before that. We couldn't keep a clean sheet for love or money. I've seen us have a better play of style of football, as we saw yesterday, for example, in the first half against Middlesbrough. We're kind of creating chances again, whether it's get turnover the ball and having 3-4 touches and then scoring a goal, or like yesterday, passing the ball across 6-yard box and trying to shoot, and we scored our goals like that. We've done a couple of goals like that earlier in the season against Arsenal. It was across the 6-yard box, Fred to Bruno, Rashford to Ronaldo, across the 6-yard box. We need to get numbers in the box. That involves you getting fullbacks to overlap. It involves you, Rashford, getting the ball like he did yesterday, which I've been begging for, and I was really happy with him. He actually held it up, jockeyed, and let Luke Shaw do the little overlap, and Luke Shaw just rolled it in for the guys to score. So you don't want to see things like that, and you want to see patterns of play. That's what we weren't seeing before. Granted, like you said, I did think we'd win the league. We'll have a good opportunity to go for it based on filling our club with more better players, world-class players, and one potential world-class in Sancho. Obviously, I didn't count on the club being in such bad condition. When you scratch the surface, it's really bad. It's pouring out poison. And when what we're seeing with Ollie, he wasn't fit for the job. But now we've got someone who is fit for the job and is looking at a long-term goal. Whether that's top 4 this season, I don't know. But all I want to see is improvement on the pitch. And we're seeing that. So we've got to take the little positives out. Mr. B's going to cuss my ass right now. But I'm ready.
Mr. B's coughing. He's coming for him. Mr. B, top 4.
No. Don't even ask me the question. We've had this conversation. You've had this conversation already. We didn't buy any players in the January transfer window. You and OMONDI sat up there saying, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to be fine, No problem." You saw the performance yesterday in the second half. We have a problem. Yeah? We have a problem at our club. Yeah? I'm not going to start on Mr. Maguire. I will save that for Rebel because I know that's going to be a little bit later down the line. But we've got issues in the fact that we bought Sancho, we bought Ronaldo, we bought Varane, and we still didn't buy the player that we needed or a version of the player that we needed. So we now have a formation where we've got Pogba, who will go up and down, no problem. We have Bruno, who will go up and down, no problem. But we have McTominay, who goes up and don't know when to come back. He's in a position where he's not supposed to be, and we know that Fred can't do that job. So at the moment, we're playing with 10 men, 10 and a half men, regardless of what we're doing. So we're not putting away our chances. There's a lot of dissension in the club. There's a lot of Twitterati and Instagrammers.
Twitterati. That's
going
beautiful.
So right now, I believe that Ranić is the guy to hold it in place. But I think 4th place is gone. I do. I don't think we've got the players.
Well, he did come out in an interview recently telling the players to stop airing problems on social media. He came out and told them to stop it, like wind their neck in. If they've got an issue, deal with it behind closed doors.
That's good.
Mr. B, there's a comment there for you.
Mr. B is saying Matic is better than what the fuck? He is. Listen, in a holding role, I would have Matic. He can't run, so he's not going to run.
Please, I hope this is not
position.
true.
He will hold his position, no problem. With McTominay believes that if the ball's over there, he has to go and run and get it instead of waiting for the ball to come to him. So in certain parts or aspects of the game, yes, Niall, Mark, I do believe that Matic is better than McTominay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
Yeah, if Matic had McTominay's legs, he'd be fine.
Can we?
Before
I go in, because I'm on this coming, yeah. Rebel is
no.
Rebel.
It's
We're
a
gonna
myth.
let you come on Monday because I know you're coming. I know you want to say.
Over and over again, everyone thinks it's true.
Yeah. So Rebel, as always, Maguire make top 4 dippers. Brilliant. Thank you, Rebel. Listen, guys. I don't want to single out individual players. At the moment, for me, I'm looking at it as a collective. There is lots and lots of issue among certain players at the club who probably isn't fit enough to wear that jersey and isn't fit enough to be at Old Trafford. But what we have right now, I'm looking at it, and every time I watch a game, elements of Middlesbrough, I've seen pattern of play where it's almost like the players are linking together. Yesterday, for the first 20 minutes, you see certain pattern of play. After that 20 minutes, it was gone. It's almost like the players... Is it me or am I making this up? Or do you guys actually think the players probably are not fit enough? Because rumours suggested that under Solskjaer, they'll go in training at 9 o'clock in the morning and they'll be gone by 11 o'clock.
I mean, you see from those 3 seasons where the team... like I said behind the scenes, like the team would play their best football in the second half, right? Under Ole, it seems like they were only conditioned to play one half, and we're still seeing that now. I mean, there's just if you look at the same thing as well, of the fact that the styles are different. Ole's styles counter attack, yeah, and then Ralph's styles gegenpress. It's two opposite styles. So trying to get a team that's used to just being like languid counter attack to doing gegenpress, I think this was always going to happen as well. That they weren't going to be able to play a whole game of dominating and being high intensity.
Do you know, Eddie, I think you've hit the nail on the head with that one. I'd say Ralph came in and he was looking at that squad of players and kind of going, what in the name of Jesus were they doing for the last year and a half in training?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it the big Jesus? Sorry, Rebel, carry on.
No, but I just wanted to chirp in and say that I absolutely agree with what he was saying, because there's no way that the levels of fitness were up to snuff, because you're seeing guys gassing out in games or early doors. Like, while you're seeing improvements in the likes of your Sanchos, your Dallos, and thank God he actually introduced Dallo into the team, because I cannot imagine Wan-Bissaka at this point trying to play two-way football. The man just doesn't have it. And that is one thing I will give to Monday, that I do agree with Dallo. But the problem is, we still have a situation where me and Mr. B have been crowing from the top of the Eiffel Tower that we needed a defensive midfielder to come in January to help sort out the problems, and we didn't do it. Whether that was by design by Ralph, or whether it was by the absolute inadequacies upstairs, because we have rumours of contract terms that Mr. Woodward agreed that you would not ever give those type of terms to certain players. We won't go into the who and the what of it, but it just suggests how disorganised our club has been from boardroom all the way down to the coaching staff.
You got a point there as well with what you're saying there. So, guys, let's go to Reese first. Reese, Mr. B and Rebel has been saying to me on Monday for a long time now that we should have signed someone in January. Do you guys think if we did actually physically sign someone in January, it would have been a panic buy? Go Reese first.
I don't know. I don't think... The funny thing is, when it comes to January is all about, you either want to consolidate your league position, or you want to boost a couple of positions, you want to get in the top four, or you want to potentially decide the title. You want to decide the title. But for us, not signing anybody, as much as I wanted us to sign someone, I'm kind of glad we didn't. I don't think the reason we should have made, there wasn't a reason to actually make a signing in January, because there's still the uncertainty of who the actual manager is going to be. There's still going to be a complete uncertainty about who it's going to be. And imagine this: like you get Pochettino, you get Ten Hag or whatever in the summer, but then they decide all of a sudden the player you brought in January is actually he's not going to fit my plans at all. So you just signed the player, waste them for 6 months, and now you're gonna have to get rid of him, sell him on.
Yeah, Reese, can I ask you real quickly though? Don't you think a big team like Man United could have worked maybe like a loan for like a player that
possibly
that suits?
I think
a loan makes sense. I think a loan makes sense, but a permanent signing, no.
Yeah. The only loan we were interested in was the Newcastle goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah, that's not a loan. That's a death sentence.
I mean, we've got like 4 keepers on the bill right now. Like, what? That is ridiculous.
Wasn't that?
But in all respect, though, when it comes to the question, should we have signed a player in January? I can see the reason for a loan signing. Yes. Hell, I would have taken it. I would have taken Dembele on loan, considering what's going on at the club right now for a winger. I wouldn't mind that as an example. But a permanent signing, no, 100%. I wouldn't have one.
The thing with the goalkeeper, though, to do with the possibility that Henderson was going to go out the window to another club, and that was going to be the cover then for Henderson departing. So obviously, one deal not happening meant the other deal was never going to happen anyway.
Yeah, he turned us down as well. That's what's sad about it.
Well, he can get relegated then. I couldn't give a shit. If you want to get relegated with Newcastle, then by all means, on you go. I couldn't give a rat's ass. Like, goodbye. We don't need you.
You know what, guys? Going back to like the possibility of like loan signings, like we've seen like the midfield, right? The struggle to control a whole game, right? I mean, if you're getting in a big coach like Ralph, like surely you look for his contacts. I mean, we've seen that his last club was Leipzig. Yeah, there's players that are still there that played under Ralph. Surely he could have had some connections to get like some loan signings in terms of Conrad Lema. He's a good versatile midfielder. Plays centre mid,
Tyler
right
Adams
mid,
isn't playing in the minute regularly.
Tyler Adams, yeah. I mean, maybe even Haidara could have been loaned. I mean, a loan to buy or something. I mean, you expect a big team, right? Man United supposed to be a big team. Surely they could work the negotiations for something like that.
See, and
a loan would have worked, but it depends on what position you want to improve on. Are you going to get like an obvious one? You could have made like for any manager, Sicario could have worked 5-6 million down. That's simple enough, but.
Right, so
I can see why we didn't make a decision because there's an uncertainty about who the manager's going to be. But we've already written the season off, which is embarrassing enough.
All right, so Reese, you were saying about maybe not buying a central midfielder. You've just said Zakaria was 6 million.
That's the logic there as well. Like, that's the logic that could have worked as well.
Right,
so there is.
This is what there was opportunities to have lined up a player. Or lined up a couple of players. Are we thinking then that the club feel? Because my issue is, no matter who we're going to buy in the summer, if we're not in the Champions League, we lose 10% of the players who we wanted to get.
Pretty much, yeah.
So for us now to be thinking and talking, okay, we might be in Europa. Let's be honest, none of us on this panel want that. No. But to me, it's more of because of we played Burnley and didn't beat them. Yeah, bottom of the league. Yeah, by a long way. So let's be honest. If we can't beat Burnley with our first choice central midfield, what's going to happen when we have to compete in games against Arsenal? We have to compete in that game. We've got another Liverpool to come. Come on, man. You're telling me that team under Ranić, I don't care. Ranić could be Jesus Christ when it comes to tactics. If he puts out that central midfield against anybody in the top 6, we're going to get broke up.
Yeah, I mean, I think even Jesus would need some signings, man. Because
that was going to bring me on. Go on.
Yeah, like how many disciples did Jesus have? Because Man United are going to need more than that, pretty much.
See, there's always one Judas there.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Good one.
I think there's two. I think the funny thing, like just to sum up what I think about I think there's a reflection on the January transfer window. There is, if there's a very smart option there that you can just go in and just add it to your squad for this, like you know it's going to rely on, then make the effort. But if there's generally no real options out there, and then I don't see us buying. But the fact that I don't even know who our manager's going to be. Like, it could be Ralph permanently. Who knows? Like, I don't see why. But if we got a loan option, I don't see why we wouldn't have exercised that option. There's nothing wrong with a loan signing.
But I think that was the problem, though, because apparently there's 3 players that actually turned us down. But the 3 players that actually turned us down wasn't sort of aware or wanted to sign for Man United because they don't actually physically know who the manager will be next season. And I think that's a board level from the top. It's nothing to do with the rest of the guys. But at the same time, right now, I've said, and I think I probably spoke to Mr. B, it could have been today, whatever day I spoke to Mr. B, I think I've said to him, I don't think anyone could, no matter what manager will come in Manchester United right now, it's a big problem. It's a huge rebuilding problem. It's not something that's just going to be, you click your finger and think to yourself, right, we can solve this in the next 2 to 3 years. To be honest with you, the only way Man United can probably get back into glory days or even start challenging is the owners need to go. The bottom line is it's down to the owners.
Fuck off. Are the owners kicking the ball on the pitch?
Clear vision.
They're the problem. They're a big problem, though.
For me, it's clear vision.
Oh, it's the
For me, it's
referee.
clear
It
vision.
was the referee. Oh, the referee was biased. The referee.
So-
I can't stand this owner talk. Everyone's
No,
talking
that's
about
harsh.
the owners,
No,
the Glazers,
I-
this. They're not coaching. They're not picking the team. They're not on the training ground running drills and getting the designing the
Yeah,
way we.
but
Well,
the
they're picking the
problem is
coaches, aren't they? They're picking the coaches.
they're picking the
getting
coaches.
everything wrong.
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
owners
they're
are.
picking. Yeah, they
Glazers.
are.
The Glazers
Yeah,
are.
the
or
Glazers
whatever.
are. Well, they've hired a
Telling
panel.
Ralph come in. Ralph is a guy who's played who's managed every section of running a club, and he's telling me he's got a deal with them. He's had an agreement to say, all right, after this, I'm going to do A, B, and C within the club to help grow the club and clear the club of all the BS.
But on Monday,
so he
with
knows
it,
all the
yeah.
roles to manage
Yeah.
all the roles within the club. Yeah, we accept
Yeah.
that. So do you think he's going to come in and say, "Oh, you pick the coaches"? Don't you realize the people that come in they know who he is? He's worked with them prior. This is what I'm saying. So he's obviously picking these guys and saying, "This is best guy suited for this. We need a guy to do A, B, and C. We need a guy to do video drills or whatever. We need a guy to do mental, spiritual lessons or whatever. We need to cleanse this whole club through. And we've allowed him to come in and do that job. Just one more thing.
Keyword
One more
identity.
thing. One more thing for just reversing a bit. Let's rewind a little bit. You guys said about fitness. The fitness ain't there. I disagree. The fitness comes is when we got the ball, we're cool. It's when we can't start giving the ball away and we get raid after raid after raid of attack against us. That's an issue. You know, that's why people like McTominay look at the goal yesterday and think, are running up and down. Oh, we're attacking. Let's attack. Oh, we got to get back. Let's get back. You know, doing all these big, massive shuttle runs for nothing because they can't keep hold of the ball. Because we keep giving it away, turnover after turnover. It's like basketball, you know. It's crazy out here. Keep the ball, get more ball players in. Thank God Pogba's back. You understand what I'm saying? Get more ball players in. Let's watch the progression play of our style of play once we start keeping the ball. And then no one will be talking about Matic can't run or Matic can't do this. Matic can do that. For a good side, he would stroll. If you look at Rodri and Matic probably do the same work. They probably fit as each other.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you serious, bro?
Wow.
One plays for a good side who keep the ball and he can just
Monday,
pop
man.
like big
Monday.
steps. And one is
The
having
one-
to do extra running because teams are countering and raiding them every 5
Amanda,
minutes. when they lose the
Amanda,
ball.
I love you, man. You're top notch, but wow.
I love you too, Reese.
The only
Can
thing
I
I'm going to
just-
say, right, is the top clubs in football have one thing in common. They all have an identity. Our
Yeah.
identity is sign and hope for the best.
Eddie, please. I want
Yeah.
nobody else talk. I want Eddie to answer what Amanda just said, please.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask on Monday then. So you're saying, okay, Ralph, yeah, he knows how to do a lot of work behind the scenes, right? He knows how to coach, knows the director of football role. I mean, I was just doing some research on him. I mean, the fact that he took Red Bull from 120 million to 1 billion shows that he should be getting a proper job after, you know, this interim. Do you trust the Glazers to actually give him a job? Because consultancy, that's not really, it's like freelancing, isn't it? You can go to the guy for advice, but you don't have to take it. So do you trust the Glazers? Do you trust the Glazers to actually give Ralph the power to reform the club? Because the owners are to blame for a lot of stuff that's going on. The wrong styles of players, the club being in debt, all of that stuff that we know about. So do you really trust them to really reform the club now?
I'm not going to answer whether I trust them. I don't trust them. What I'm saying is we need to eliminate them from this argument. We're talking about the management of the football team and how we play. You take that out of the equation. With the players that you have, as Ralph said, he's got 29 players here. He's filtered them down a little bit since January transfer window. He wants to work with these players, and he's a coach. So he's not talking about, we need transfers, we need a midfielder, whatever. He's going to coach these guys to do the good job. We would have won yesterday if someone in midfield, say McTominay, would have done the correct job and played the number 6 and not been ahead of the play, regardless of what anyone says.
No.
Hold on. I've been bumping heads. I've got enough respect for Bath Time with Vaughan. Enough respect for him. But we've been bumping heads, having a really good discussion about where we went wrong and why we conceded. And and we disagree on certain things, but we agree on a lot of stuff as well. And I think when players, if you're signing a player, say McTominay, okay, you think you're box to box, but I want you just to do a Matic job. Watch Matic for a week in training, watch his games, and look how he performs. And that's what I want you to do. Don't go ahead of the play because you're killing us. You know, don't if you see an attack on, don't think you can go out there. We've got better players technically in the third who are better than you. So just sit back and be responsible for the team. That's coaching. That's how you coach the players with what you got. And I think Ralph's capable of doing that to get us top 4. That's why I said from January and when he came in that we're quite in good shape to get top 4, and we still are.
On Monday, with all due respect, you're doing the best job that you can to protect your boy Harry Maguire. You're talking about this
one
this
moment.
one
This is
point of
perfect.
play.
One moment, lads. Allow me to get my Galaxy open for this bit.
But at the end of the day, if Harry Maguire wasn't such a big, stupid lump, we would have had a goal from Raphael Varane put in the back of the net and not chalked off. So for every Scott McTominay did this and did that, Harry Maguire did so much more.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we go on, because this show is going to get silly. I know some people in the comments. I'm making a declaration here now. I love all Man United players. I try to be positive in most of what they do. I am upset with Harry Maguire. He's had a poor season. He's let us down. He's let myself down because I really endorsed him. He's still a good player. We saw what he did in 2018. We saw what he did last year. Without him, we were really struggling. Even Mr. B got converted. You know, his head was turned. It's true.
He's taking the conversion back.
But let me say this. Yesterday, he made an error of judgment. And I think because of the pressures on him, he tried too hard to do something, which he messed up with. You know, he made
Monday, how many errors are we going to take from the captain? I mean,
exactly.
Thank you.
Come on,
You're right.
There's so many. There's so many.
Talking, Eddie, please.
I mean, I think against Watford that should have been the end for Maguire. that getting sent off there. I mean, he pretty much sealed Ole's fate with that, didn't he? Because we could have come back in that game if you remember. Donny van der Beek getting a goal, and then I think Maguire did a similar thing. What did he do? He tried to dribble, and then tried to, lost the ball. Then he's too clumsy. I think he's too clumsy.
And you know what, as well, throwing the captaincy armband down as well on the pitch.
Yeah, that's you can't do that. That's a crime, man.
That's a crime.
But his 80 million keeps him in there. I mean, I think it's just down to the politics for me. I mean, really, on Monday. I mean, okay, last season you said he was good for us, right? But if we look at the style, but it comes down to the style again that I mentioned before. It's like he looked good in a low block team. We were a low block team. We were counter-attacking. He's good when we're just in the trenches and we have to defend, and all he has to do is use that big slab head to get balls. That's when he looks good. Yeah, that's what I see. That's not an insult to him. That's a good attribute. But trying to press high makes mistakes, man. So I think he's just been found out.
So do you think it's Eddie? Sorry, Rebel. 1 sec. So do you think it's actually a style issue with Maguire? Why he's being exposed now, rather than him just being a poor defender?
Yeah. That's what I think, because the gegenpress, right? You've got to have speed. You've got to have legs, don't you? You got to be pressing. Maguire's not good at pressing, is he? He's too slow. The way he turns, the lack of agility. But if he's just like, he's got what did you call it? 2 defensive mids in front of him, and he's just got to sit back and marshal. He's going to be protected. The area.
See, OMONDI, are you hearing this? This is from somebody who doesn't come onto the agenda very often.
Doesn't have an agenda.
Doesn't have an agenda with it, But I'm hearing the same things that we've been talking about. That Maguire has been protected in the Ole formation, and now he's in a formation where the team is trying to express himself. He's being exposed.
And also as well, I think if you look at the way Leicester played before we signed from Leicester as well, it was the same thing, because I was watching, I can't remember who I was listening to someone, and they were saying, I can't remember what game, we played a game and I think we lost the game whilst Solskjaer was there, and they were showing you like little clippets of him when he plays for Leicester, and showed Leicester did protect him as well whilst playing in how Leicester City set up. And it was just protect Harry Maguire. But before we kickstart going into that, Amanda, would you mind take some comments away, please?
Especially this first one.
Well, go ahead. Mark Gemini says, Amondi, stop digging that hole. Your boy is an expensive Phil Babb. Phil Babb was decent, wouldn't he? Phil Babb's a decent player. So, yeah, I'm going to have to roll up here. I want to say hi to everyone in the comments. Mark Edmund, how you doing? He said, the only thing slower than Maguire's feet is his brain. Hurry up, Harry. Oh, God. It's an onslaught right here. Half time, how you doing? He says, Maguire's lack of pace is exposed by a certain Spaniard in the goal. Okay, just to summarize quickly, my bath time, if you can really break it down and explain it, he feels that De Gea is stuck on his touchline. He doesn't come off his goal line, and it's killing us sometimes. Because you were talking about the Gegen press or whatever, and her playing on the halfway line. Who, there's all that space in behind, and we should have a goalkeeper who's able.
We can't blame on Monday. We can't blame the goalkeeper for the mistake yesterday.
He's got stats to prove that as well. Just a big up to our guy James Garner. He scored for Nottingham Forest earlier.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, brilliant goal as well.
Dan James on a double today.
Dan James as well is on a hat trick. I know Rebel's a big fan of Dan James. Thinks we should.
He's the worst winger I've ever seen play for Man United, and that's a long list.
Just want to shout out Pat Lawless. How you doing, Pat? He says our owners run a club like how my materialistic mate spends his money stupidly and with no long-term thought. Okay. Let's see. Let's go for it. I'm trying to catch up here with everyone. Mark Jenner again. Varane looked like silk yesterday. Yeah, he did. While Maguire looked like burnt nylon.
That's a great analogy. I like that one.
And talk about the debt here, and the Glazers taking money out of the club, just dipping in whenever they want. There's a lot of talk about that. That's from Mehdi. How you doing, Mehdi? Matthew Bassett's in the house as well. They brought Ronaldo instead of a midfielder. This is what Mr. B was stating earlier.
Have anyone seen Murphy? Anyone seen him? Welcome to the channel.
Sorry, I missed that. Murphy, where's Murphy?
Murphy Mo.
If you're there, Murphy. Oh, Murphy Mo, how you doing? Ralph is welcome. A joke, so he's not a big fan of our manager. Yeah, we'll come back to the comments later. But thanks, guys, for all the comments. Brilliant.
So, guys, I need to share something, but I don't know where the share is gone. He's disappeared. Hopefully he's around somewhere. Pardon? Oh, the share is there. The share that keeps giving. So guys, these are the fixtures that we've got now left to play. I'm looking at these and I'm thinking this is going to be a hard task. So let's kickstart Rebel, because on a Rebel you were talking. And how many points do you guys actually physically seen us getting from this and top four? And at the end of the show, guys, I want everyone to put in who they think, sort of like from 1 to 7th in the league, how the league will finish. So
what? You couldn't have done that in a bolder print. My God.
I went through all these fixtures, and I went through West Ham's, Wolves, and Spurs just to see where we would end up. So I'm being generous with some of these fixtures. I'm saying that we beat Southampton, draw with Brighton, draw with Leeds, beat Watford, lose to City, Spurs, and Liverpool, draw with Leicester, beat Everton because they're in the absolute muck at the moment, beat Norwich, beat Brentford, draw with Arsenal, draw with Brighton, lose to Chelsea, and draw with Palace. 21 points, leaving us with 60, which last season would have put us 9th, which would have been an absolute embarrassment. West Ham then went through all their fixtures. I'd see them getting another 23 points. That finishes them on 63 points for the rest of the season. Wolves, I have them getting a further 26 points, which would leave them with 62 points at the end of the season. And Spurs, I see them picking up 30 to 32 points, which would have them clear in 4th at 67 points. And then the Gooners, I had coming in at around the 61, 62 points as well. So that put us in the 8th position at the end of the season.
Wow, that's mad. He really done calculations there,
He's
man.
done
That's
it.
depressing.
He's done his homework. Let's go on Monday.
Okay, just to summarize, look, we can make predictions all we want. I think you have to assess each week as it goes by. Well, this is the Premier League. Any team can beat any team. Arsenal, they drew with Burnley earlier, about a month ago, 0-0 at home, So teams on the relegation teams, I think if you're a betting man, for example, you wait until like November, December.
That's me.
That's when you get true form. Beyond that, you get teams in relegation zone having to win. You get mid-table teams that don't have to win. You can't predict results. And teams fighting for the top 4, fighting for European places, you can never predict how things go. You might get injury scare. You might get players playing in Europe on a Wednesday, having to play on a Saturday. You just don't know how it goes. So for me, I'm confident we're going to get top 4. Where there's a will, there's a way. I think somehow we can do it. We just have to keep behind our team. Let's send out some positive vibes for our team. That's
not helping our team, bro.
I'm not down with this negativity thing, getting down on people.
You know what? They
ain't helping nobody. Let's get behind. Look, we got some ballers. We got some ballers. We can see the potential in this team to really blow up. We could be. Look, I'm waiting for that 5-0. We hadn't started the season with the 5-1 or at Leeds. I'm waiting for another 5-0. We're just getting there. We're getting back to that sort of thing where we're going to tear someone's backside apart.
When, Amondi, tell me when.
It's coming.
We had the opportunity to do it against Burnley. We did do it against Burnley, who are bottom
but
of
it's
the
going
league.
to come. Listen,
When,
like I said,
Amondi, you're
we are
talking about
damaged
vibes
goods.
and happiness.
We are damaged goods,
bruv.
You know.
That's
Look
not
at
Start buying
coaching.
off milk in it for 99p.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Errol, just to wind up now. I'm just going to say, I think we can get top 4. I just think we have to set it week by week and just get behind the team. And look, I think that was a winnable game yesterday. I thought it was winnable against Middlesbrough. I think there's many games that were winnable. We just got to turn the results round and keep behind Ralph, and make sure the players as well. I can see the players coaching each other on the pitch about where they're supposed to be or the runs they're supposed to make. So it shows that Ralph is having that influence and it's starting to leak through. Whereas before, you ask Ollie on a press conference, well, what do you think about the tactics? They say, oh, yeah, we
fantastic.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's my take in it. I think we can still get top 4. It's going to be damn exciting, and I love this league.
You ask Ollie what tactics are. He just says it's something on a board.
Let's go, Mr. B, and then we'll work it down to our 2 guests afterwards. Mr. B, top 4. Where do you see? How many points do you reckon we'll get from these games?
I don't know. I'm not looking at all of this. See, I can't even see half of it. I told you.
So Southampton's the next game. Southampton.
We'll beat Southampton.
Brighton.
We'll draw against Brighton. We'll beat Leeds. Atletico, I'm not even going to contemplate the whole of that. Watford are going to beat us again. Man City, we're going to draw with. We're going to beat Tottenham. We're going to draw again. We're going to lose to Liverpool, and we're going to beat Leicester. I don't know how much points that was. I've looked at it, and that's what I've said. But I've already said it. We're not getting 4th. You could have made me look through the whole. We're not getting 4th. 4th is gone. 4th is now a myth. I want to be wrong. I want to sit here with you guys at the end of the season, and I'm laughing. I'm happy, and we got 5th on Monday. You're the guy. Your vibes and your chicken dancing was working. It's not.
Chicken dance.
That's a ritual. That's my spell. Put a ritual down. Yeah?
Can I ask one question though? Why would you be celebrating 5th with a Monday, Mr. B?
Exactly. Yeah.
4th? Did I say 5th? Oh, shut up, Rebel. We're not getting it.
Let's go to Eddie.
Yeah, I've just been trying to calculate as well and be a bit like Rebel, but it's not really working because I'm not really that optimistic. I want to have on Monday's energy for this team, I want to have that passion there, but I don't know. I'm going to go into a little bit of a tangent, but I don't know about the midfield. In that West Ham game, I saw us play the holding number 6 and then 2 box-to-box number 8s. I've not really seen that as much in his latest 2 games. I don't like the double pivot and Bruno just going everywhere he wants. That's what I saw. I don't think a lot of people have seen what I've seen really, because I've heard on a lot of channels that, Bruno's kind of defended a little bit, but I've not seen it enough. So anyway, getting back to the point, I reckon that there might be a run of 3 games where Man United get wins. I can see them beating Southampton, Brighton, and Leeds, and then maybe coming unstuck against Watford, because Man United tend to do that. They tend to get a bit of a good run and then come unstuck against teams you don't think they'll drop points against. Man City, I only see a draw, for that one, and Tottenham and draw as well. And then Liverpool, I'm not sure, man. Could be a draw or loss. Leicester could be a loss as well. I just see maybe 10 to 14 points, something like that. I just think it's going to be patchy form, man. I'm not sure, man. I really ain't sure, but I think Man United can get top 4, but I just don't like that. Ralph's just such a different style to these players. I don't know if he can teach them in time to get enough points. I'm not that confident, man.
Reese.
I'm not even gonna say that we're gonna get X, Y, Z. I'm just gonna say we're not gonna get the points we need. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just it's plain to me. To be honest with you, I'm going to pull this off the screen anyway. We can take this off now. Remove that. Get everyone back up. For me, I'm going to be open and honest with you. I looked at it today, and the more I looked at it, the more I was sitting there trying to be as positive as I can. I'm positive due to the manager that we have at the club at the moment. My negative thing is these guys are not playing for the jersey. So even though the manager is good enough, but we look at other managers we got, and we've been slating other managers. Hopefully we didn't do nothing like that on this channel. But it can't always be the manager. It's got to be something behind the scene that's creating these problems. So for me, looking at, I'm going to go exactly what Reece said. We're not going to make top 4. We won't make top 4. I'm looking at this today, and I'm calculating us to finish 8th in the league.
Yeah. Solo, the problem is, though, every manager that comes into Manchester United is currently dealing with the Woodward-sized crutch that was imposed on our club during his reign of terror, because his contracts, his business dealings, and everything beyond commercial was absolutely toxic to Manchester United.
Yeah, and that's the thing with it. So, guys, in the comment, let's see how many points these guys are saying. Let's have a look. Who is it? So this is how Andrew thinks the league's going to finish.
Oh, Jesus,
6?
not behind Arsenal. Not behind Arsenal.
If we finish behind that lot, then
we have to beat Banter FC, man. Got to finish in front of them, man.
Sure, finish in front of Arsenal. Have to finish above them. So I'm just trying to see if there's anyone in. And also, guys, there is a poll to see whether or not we finish in the top 4 or not. And let's have a look at the result at the moment. How many people has voted? And see where we're at with it. So at the moment, 25 votes and 76% said no, we won't make the top 4.
Well, how much was that again?
76%.
Wow, that's telling, man. You know, I hope we finish top 4. I mean, but
to be honest with you, we want to finish top 4, but the problem is, can we get over the line? You know, I think. We've got a lot of things in place, and you can see some positive from the manager, what he's trying to implement within it. But I know on Monday we're saying about fitness of the team. I just think these guys ain't fit enough at all. 1, they're not fit enough to wear the jersey, and 2, they're probably physically not fit anyway. And that's the problem, what we have at Manchester United at the moment. So, guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. Thanks to every single person in the comments that's contributed tonight to the show. But first of all, I'd like to find out where we can find Reece.
You can find me at Twitter, Devils Rising. Thanks for having me, boys. You can also find me. You can find me on Rich Sports in 40 minutes, causing carnage. Twitch as well, Reece_Lightning 1997. And obviously back on the weekly armchair tomorrow. Got my podcast, so that's one for Andrew, who's a regular watcher. So I'll be on there at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So peace, y'all, and like, share, subscribe, and be human, stay classy, and don't support Arsenal. Just kidding. Do what you want.
And where can we find you, Eddie?
Yeah, first of all, Errol, thanks for having me on again. It's nice to be chatting to the rest of the panel. You guys are, cool guys. But yeah, you can find me Eddie's Football Waffle. Even if you put like what I've put there, Eddie Footy Waffle, you'll find me on YouTube. I just try and do like, certain shows where I talk about Man United and some other football things and try and add a bit of levity to it, So yeah, check it out.
Thank you so much.
So can we just say briefly the quality of the legendary boxer on the poster that's behind Eddie, Muhammad Ali?
Yes.
That is the GOAT right there.
That's the one.
Nah, I got him. I baited him. Get in.
We could use that mentality at Man United right now, proper winner mentality, That's what
refuse lose.
Yeah.
Saints have scored. It's 2-2 against Tottenham.
Oh,
Can I just say as well, I mean, 2 guests have been great tonight. Hope to see you guys around soon, coming to our channel. Top draw stuff. Yeah. And I know Reece already. Reece is one of my favorites. Yeah. And I'm starting to like Eddie as well. Eddie!
Eddie!
I appreciate that, guys, man.
What have you done for me lately, Eddie?
I knew that was a reference you're going for. I've heard that so many times.
Eddie, I want half. Eddie, I want half. Guys, listen, it's been absolute pleasure. We will be back tomorrow night. So make sure you tune in, and also we've got the watch along as well. We'll be getting Eddie and also Reese back on the channel within the next week or so. Whilst I'm on there, stop this Eddie and all this editing going on at the moment. But guys, thank you so
Eddie.
much. We need some laughs after what Man United have been doing, innit? So it's cool.
We need
Here's a good laugh. Our under-18s beat Everton 4-1 at Old Trafford, so quarterfinals here we come.
That's it. Some positivity.
And it's
there.
3-2 Southampton. They've just scored again.
You're
Wow.
joking.
Are you-
That's good
no
news,
way.
guys.
What?
Come
Are you
on,
serious?
Southampton. That's away
Yeah.
from home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wow.
But apparently Hasenhüttl's not a good manager according to some people. But yeah, I'm telling people he is. So maybe
He's
he
a top
should be
manager.
once in a while.
Top manager.
That is
Guys.
good news. That's really good news.
That's awesome.
And also Murphy, Mo, thank you so much for joining the channel as
Yes,
well. Welcome
indeed,
to the
indeed.
channel. We did notice you're new to it. So guys, from the Mani Agenda, Reese and Eddie, it's been fantastic. Thanks for every single thing. Appreciate it. Have a lovely night. Good night.
Cheerio.